Chelsea has lost again at the Emirates, falling 2-1 to the European Virgins in a game that was entirely within our grips. From a masterclass in how to throw away a game to Pedro Neto moment of pure stupidity with that red card. We are breaking down the reason behind this collapse, and I've got the 5 brutal things we learned from Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. But before we get into this mess, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. Or if you have been following me for a while, you know the drills. Help your boy get to that 10k subscriber mark. Let's dive into it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, my head is absolutely gone. Another derby, another 2-1 loss at the Emirates. That was a tough one to swallow at the Emirates. On a different day with a different referee, but let's be honest, a cooler head from Pedro Neto, the Blues might be walking away with at least a point, if not all 3 points. But football isn't played on what ifs. The truth is that we left North London empty-handed. And that brings me to the first thing we learned, and it's the most painful. We failed to set piece. Both Arsenal goals came from a corner, and that's not a fluke. It's a systematic defensive flaw at the moment. We talk about building under Leon Rossini all we like, but we cannot handle area threats or organization on dead balls. That's pathetic at this level. And honestly, as good as Sanchez has been this season, he has cost us few games, and especially today. For the second goal, his positioning was poor, he was caught in no man's land, and I know people will point at the stats and say he had a good game, because he finished with a 7.6 rating, made 3 saves, 2 saves from the box, but those numbers are a max. You can make all the reflex saves you want, but if you can't command your area on a simple corner, you are killing us. Our set piece defending this season has been really poor, and we have to talk about the elephant in the room, Levi Colwill. His injury has been catastrophic for this backline. He's our best player at area duels, and usually marks the opponent's most dangerous header. Plus, he organizes the team better than Fofana, Tosin, or anyone else. A lot of the details we are missing right now are due to his absence, and I have to blame the club for ignoring the call to replace him. It's a massive oversight. Having a proper Colwill replacement could have saved us 8 points or even more this season. And in this tight race, that could be the difference between Europa or Champions League football next season. It's a very poor decision we made last summer, and we are paying for it now. It's as simple as that. At times, a single player can be very important. Our zona and marking mix at set piece is trash. We have no clear identity. Better teams will punish us harder if we don't fix this immediately. And that brings me to the second thing we learned. Discipline cost us the game. If the first thing we learned was about our tactical flaw, the second was about our mental one. Pedro Neto getting sent off just minutes after Arsenal regained the lead completely turned the tide. When you go down to 10 men in a rival derby, you have lost 90% of the game. It's simple. Lack of discipline equals self-inflicted wounds, and we are bleeding out ourselves because of it. Look at the numbers, because honestly, they are damning. Chelsea have now had 5 points from a possible 21 across those 7 matches where they received their red card. That's a staggering statistics. We're effectively throwing away 80% of the points available the moment we lose a man. And according to Scorecard, Chelsea have received 7 red cards in the Premier League this season, with only 6 sides receiving more in the single campaign in the competition history. Most recently, QPR with 9 in 2021/12. We're approaching a historic level of indiscipline. And the worst part, Neto wasn't having a bad game before the red card. He finished with a 6.3 rating, 1 shot, 28 touches, 11 carries, 5 progressive carries, 2 key passes. He was involved, he was driving us forward, he was a threat. But all that good is deleted the second you leave your teammates stranded at the Emirates. You cannot win at this level playing a man down every other week. If we can't keep 11 players on the pitch at big moments, we'll always be the second best. It's a recurring nightmare that Leon Rossini has to wake this squad up from, or we kiss our ambition goodbye. The comparison with that 2011-2012 QPR side put into perspective how chaotic this season has been discipline-wise. But moving on to the third thing we learned, and it's a bitter pill to swallow. We can't close out games. After equalizing, we didn't flip the script. We shrunk. We went back to passing sideways, hoping time just ran off. And the moment that red card came, it was a complete collapse. This has been a recurring theme all season. We concede control the second and opponent turns up the press. Personally, I think we look technically and tactically better than Arsenal, but they are physically better, more experienced, and far more streetwise. They know how to win ugly. We only know how to lose looking okay. When we finally learn to manage games and situations better, we can start winning this kind of fixtures. But right now, we are too erratic and naive, and that's where I have to talk about my general, Moises Caicedo, who was absolutely solid today despite the chaos around him. He was the only one truly standing firm while the walls were caving in. He finished with a 7.2 rating, 98% accurate passes, 1 shot, 72 touches, 11 defensive contributions, 3 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 clearances, 1 shot blocked, 5 recoveries, 5 ground duel won. Caicedo did his job. He anchored down midfield, he won duels, and he didn't misplace a pass. But one-man discipline isn't enough to carry a team that lacks collective maturity. Our mental strength and game management are miles off what consistent top 4 size shows. If you can't weather the storm at the Emirates after getting yourself into the game, you don't deserve the points. It's that simple. Caicedo is really one-man army sometimes, isn't he? 98% passing in North London, atmosphere is insane. But moving on, the fourth thing we learn. The fourth thing we learn is a hard truth. We are our greatest enemy. Look, I know the lineup was a bit of a jigsaw puzzle with injuries and suspension, but even then, we didn't help ourselves. Leon Senior went with a lineup of Sanchez, James, Sarr, Chalobah, Jurahato, Caicedo, Andres Santos, Kopama, Enzo Fernandez, Pedro Neto, and Joao Pedro. On paper, that's a team that can compete. And look, fans will moan about VAR and penalty not going our way. But look, that's just making excuses. We dominated pockets of play, we created chances late on, but we simply didn't take them. The killer instinct and composure in and around the box, it's not there. We finished with a 59% ball possession, 2 big chances, 9 shots, an XG of Arsenal 1.58 to Chelsea 1.17. We had more of the ball, but we didn't do enough with it where it counts. However, at the midst of the chaos, we have to talk about my man of the match, Reece James. He was holding the right side down like a fortress. He finished with a 7.4 rating, 6 defensive contributions, 3 tackles won, 3 clearances, 6 recoveries, 4 ground duel won, 1 aerial duel won, 0 time dribbled pass, 2 key passes, 4 accurate crosses, 94% accurate passes. When your right back is putting in those kind of numbers and providing that much service, you have to reward him by putting the ball at the back of the net. Without a clinical edge, we keep losing these tight games when things don't go our way. We are beating ourselves before the opponents even get a chance. And with James going 0 time dribbled pass at the Emirates is world class. And it makes the loss even hurt small when the captain performs like that. And finally, the 15th we learn, and it's a bitter, jaded pill to swallow. Arsenal owns us. There is no other way to put it. The head-to-head stats are ugly. We have been winless in our last 11 meetings against them. And the most frustrating part, Arsenal rarely beat us convincingly. They don't blow us off the pitch. They just do enough. They wait for us to blink, and we always do. That creeps into the player's mindset. When you haven't beaten a rival in 11 tries, you stop looking for a win and start waiting for mistakes. And honestly, this is no longer a rivalry. It's ownership. We are not just losing matches, we are losing belief at the top end. If we want to be considered real contenders, that mentality block has to be broken. You can't be a big club if you walk into Emirates already feeling like the second best. And if I'm honest, with this Chelsea side isn't bad. It's just not ruthless. We can build chances, we can compete, we can hold 59% possession at one of the toughest grounds in Europe. But we lose the key moments. We make dumb mistakes and we lack killer instincts. Until we fix those, Arsenal and other elite teams will keep edging us out by a single goal while we left wondering, what if? We need answers, not excuses. It's time to grow up or be watching Champions League next year from the sofas again. But what do you guys think? Was it the red card that killed us? Or was the game lost the moment we stepped onto the pitch? With that said, that's the end of the video, my friends. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.